Hello, it's Mrs.Z. Okay, today we have Grade 5, Mission 2, Lesson 8, Exit Ticket. Okay, now question 1. Estimate the product first. Solve by using standard algorithm. Use your estimate to check the reasonableness of the product. Okay, so when we look our factors, they are 283. So if I am rounding to the nearest 200, I can think I have 83 more dollars. So that means that I have a half of more than half of 100. So that means that I can easily say these $83 can make me a new 100. So I will have a 300. Okay. Now here I have only $16 more than 400. If I want to make a 500, I will need here instead of 16 at least 50 to make a new 100. So I'm going to lose this 16 like they don't exist because I couldn't create a new 100. So my estimate is 300 about times 400. Now, I know that this is 100 times 100 is 10,000. And 3 times 4 is 12. And I need 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros to add. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, when I add my zeros, then I can go and say ones, tens, hundreds, comma, and then my estimate is about 120,000 for this um, 283 times 416. So now they say using standard algorithm. Here are the very small numbers. I kind of don't like, I'm a person that I like big numbers, so I'm going to rewrite that here. So I'm going to do 283 and times 416. All right. So now when I underline and say I'm multiplying, I also like to use lines so I can make correct calculation, and I always use extra lines because this will gonna be number that is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 place value. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 6, about that many place value will needed to create in order to correctly multiply it. So now when I have this in place, I can say, okay, I need to do 6 times this 283, but I will go with steps. First, 6 times 3, 6 times 3, or 3 times 6 is 18. 1 and 8, 18. 1 and 10 to carry on, and then 8 stays. Now I'm going to do 6 times 8 or 8 times 6. 6 times 8 is 48, and then 48, and I already had 1, so that will be 49. So again, 49. Now I'm doing 6 times 2 or 2 times 6, which is 12, and then add 4, that's 16. I do not have no more numbers, so that would be the last 2 digit that I'm going to place there. So now I have 6 times 283 is 1698. Okay, next, I'm done with 6. So I'm moving to the tens. So I needed to put 0 to keep that one's placeholder. This is 10, so 1 and 0 makes 10. And now I'm using rule 1 times 3. I'm going to use different color. Let's do pink now, all right? So now I'm going to do 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 8 is 8. And 1 times 2 is 2. So I have what is 10 times 283 is 2,830. Now I'm done with ones and I'm done with tens. So now I need here 2 zeros to put, because I'm going to start writing a multiplying 400 with these 283. So 400 is 4 and then 2 zeros that I need to have a placeholder for. So now it's the same procedure. There's a 400, but we can use 4 times 3. 4 times 3 is 12. 2, I carry on 1. So then 4 times 8 is 32, plus 1 is 33. Now I have 4 times 2 is 8, plus 3 is 11. Okay, so now I just did 400 times 283, and it is 113,200. So I am going to underline and I need to add all these place values now. Once will be 8, the tens 9 and 3 is 12, so it's going to be 2, and I will remember 1 or have one made, 100. So 6, 8 and 2 is 10, 16, 17. So this should be 17. 1, I remember 1 more, or I created 1,000 more. So 1 plus 1 is 2, 4. 4 and 3 is 7. And then 1 and 1. All right. So now I can go and place my commas, ones, tens, hundreds, comma, ones, tens, hundreds. So the answer is 117,728. So this is really close to 120, because if my estimate was 120,000, then, and my real answer is 117,000. If I think to round to the nearest 10,000s, I already have 7,000, so I can round 7 to one more. So that would become all this number. I can create a new 10,000s. So 7,728 will make me one more 10,000, so it will be 120,000. So my estimate was reasonable, and it's really, if you needed to choose correct answer and you weren't doing correct calculation, you still, but with your estimate, could pick up correct answer. So that was a problem, and then there is B as well. So let's see how B is going to be done. All right. So now B has 2,000. So now it's 4 digits by 3 digits, even bigger numbers. Once again, if I am going to round around to the nearest 1000. I look how many hundreds I have. I have 803. So that means I have 800 out of 1000. So I can pretend that I have one more 1000. So 800 is more than half to make a new 1000. So 3000 would be my estimate to 2803. And then if I look, this is a 400, and after the 100 I have only 6. So I need 50 to make a new 100 at least. So only having 6 out of 100, it will not give me chance to make a new 100. So that will need to stay 400 about. So now 3 times 4 is 12. And then you have thousands times hundreds. That makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros needed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zeros. And then 1, 2, 3, comma, 1, 2, 3, comma. So this product is going to be about 1,200,000. So let's see how we can see this calculation. I am going to again rewrite numbers, so it will help me to do the better calculation. So I'm going to start here 2, and I'm not putting comma, 2803 times 406. All right, underline. Okay, because I needed to reach millions in my estimation, so I needed to have many place values, ones, then tens, then hundreds, then thousands, then 10,000s, then 100,000s, then millions should be about somewhere here. So let's see. I think this is a good strategy to know how many. So let's see. 4 times 3 is 18. 8. I remember 1, or I create 110. Now 6 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. Now 8 times 6 is 48. 48. So 8 times 6 is 48. And then I remember or created 4,000. So now 2 times 4 is 12. 2 times 6, sorry, 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 4 is 16. So here's the last digit. And then 6 times 2,803 is 16,818. Okay, now I'm done with ones. So I'm going to put the 0 below the ones. In one's place, and now I can say 0 times this number is 0. So some people like to do 0 times 3 is 0, 0 times 0 is 0, 0 times 8 is 0, and 0 times 2 is 0. Practically 0 times this number is 0 complete. Okay, now let's do that. So now I'm done with the tens and ones and tens. So next it's to be 2 zeros. So hold place for the tens and for ones and tens. Now I'm starting with the hundreds. So I need to do 4 times 3, which is 12. 2, I remember this is done, so I can remember 1 of somewhere here. Okay, so 4 times 3 is 12. 2, I remember 1. 4 times 0 is 0 plus 1 is 1. Now 4 times 8 is 32. 2, I remember 3. I'm going to write here plus 3. So 4 times 8 is 32. So then I will go next. 4 times 2 is 8, and plus 3 is 11. So now I can add all this together. Okay, 8 plus 0, 0 is 8. 1 plus 0 is 1. 8 plus 2 is 10. I remember 1. Or I made a 1,000. So 6 plus 1, 7, 8. 1 plus 2 is 3. And then I have 1 and 1. So these are all the digits that creates. So let's see now. Ones, tens, hundreds, comma. Ones, tens, hundreds of the thousands period, and comma. So now you can see that you have a 1 million. Okay, 138,018. So we can say 1,138,000 thousands and not end. End is decimal without end. And we just say 18. So 1,138,018. And that, if I look, my estimate was 1,200,000. So when you look this, you can see 1 million, but you have a 138,000. If I'm going to round this to the nearest 100,000, that my rounding should be 1,100. So this was the highest estimate that the answer is, because if I look this one, 38,000 is not 50. It's not 50,000 that makes a new 100,000. So I will lose this 38,018. So my estimate should be about just 1,100,000. So the estimate that I have done was much higher, 400,000 higher than the real answer about. It's less than 100. So the answer is in between 1,100, 1,100,000 and 1,200,000, because the answer is 1,138,018. Okay, guys, I hope that makes sense and that you learned something. All right, this is Mrs.Z, and this was Grade 5 Mission 2, Lesson 8, Exit Ticket. This was a B, and then A was this. All right, have a great night. Bye-bye.